all. I got VA. We got people reporting, but New York has nothing.
because they don't close until 9. It's not 9.
Yeah, but all of oh, you tell me New York is the only state that does it closes at 9?
I think they close at 9 tonight.
Well, they ain't reporting nothing.
Well, listen, we're New York. Everything's slow here. Everything's inefficient here. Not slow, inefficient. You go to Manhattan, boy, you ain't moving your ass, you getting run over. Like
So he's got Florida. Everybody knew that. 49%.
so let's see. What did he win so far?
He's got Florida.
I mean, he does live in Florida, right? Doesn't he? Or one of
He's
his
got
places?
Oh shit, he
yeah.
lived in New York and he ain't win in New York. That don't matter.
Let's see.
Nikki Haley lived, I think, in North Carolina, whatever state she lived in, and she didn't win in the primaries against Trump. And Trump didn't even debate.
Florida's all in. They got 5 million votes are in.
So what? Let's go back to Florida if you don't mind.
It looks like they've got 30 electoral votes. 93% of votes counted. So Florida's done.
Yep, Florida's.
I didn't know my guy was running for president. What is the guy? And from Georgetown, the guy, the professor.
Oh, you got me.
The black dude with the hair. He's got the gray hair, his teeth. He's got Cornel West. I didn't know Cornel West was running for. Did y'all know that?
I didn't know that.
Did you know that, Gerald?
I did not.
He was on the ballot.
And
So what other states have been called? For which I suspect the southern states will be called first.
Yeah, well, we got, let's see, South Carolina, where 50% of votes counted. So we don't know yet. That's it's 60-40. So it looks like she's losing that
Yeah,
one.
she's done there.
Georgia,
Georgia's a
Coming in.
little close. I don't think they could call that
50-50.
one yet. I think they called Arizona. Did they call Alabama yet?
Alabama, we're at
They called
1%
Alabama.
of votes counted. No, they're way away. But Donald Trump's crushing it, 72-30. He's crushing it, 70-30 there. Alabama has the good old boy network down there.
What about Mississippi?
They're at 6% of votes counted. They still 60-40. Nothing here.
Mac
Well,
Miller had a song about Donald Trump.
Who?
Mac Miller, the rapper.
Did
Oh,
he?
yeah?
Yeah, a white kid rapper, but I think he was from New York or something. I mean, he was popular on YouTube, but then he died of a drug overdose.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, Mac Miller.
So
So
Virginia's,
So let's see. They called Oklahoma, Arizona, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida, and South Carolina so far for Trump, correct?
yeah, down here, yeah, these are all done.
So he's got 101 electric votes. But it's still early in the night.
But look at this, man. This is so
Shout
cool
out
to
to
see.
Atlanta. That fucking dicks.
Look at Virginia. I think I'm in the swing state. Look, this is 49-48. Isn't that amazing?
That's tough.
Virginia is something, boy. You see, the problem with Virginia is, I'm going to be honest and say this. Virginia is a slave state.
Mm.
It's a slave, and I know this. I know this shit because when somebody sat me down and told me this, it really took the wind out of my lungs. You're talking about cotton. You're talking about tobacco. All these stuff. So these guys, period. So what happened was a lot of us black folk migrated to the water. So on the east coast of Virginia, man, it's just loaded with black people, dude. So that's not to say that they're all Democrat, but you just don't know which way VA is going to go.
Illinois apparently went to who did Illinois go to? It went to Harris, huh?
Yeah,
Yeah. Well, you knew that. You got Obama from up there and all that. They roll. So this is Indiana. 60% of votes in. We're at 60-40.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Ohio is almost 50-50 here. Oh, here they go. Okay, Oklahoma's in 30%. 60. Wow.
How many people get killed in Louisiana tonight voting? Man, you can get killed doing anything here.
Where you at, Gerald?
I'm in Louisiana. I have a house in Louisiana. That's where I'm at now. I'm in Louisiana. My main place is in Texas, but I got one in Florida and one here.
Look at this. So we know.
All right, so Trump's gone up.
Look at New York. New York just came in. It's all blue.
Yeah, but what did they? That's not unexpected.
Help me understand. New York has all the big businesses. It's got all the entrepreneurs, but it's all Democratic. I don't get it.
It's not all Democrat, man. If you got you.
Oh, it's not. Look at this shit here. It's all blue. I promise.
Let me tell you something. So I live in a city that's 5 boroughs, right? Staten Island's the only Republican borough, the only Republican county in the entire city. But
Help me understand, Dan.
it's the actual county that got Rudy Giuliani voted in his first administration.
It's all the poor
okay.
people, man.
Yeah. So it's
Bristol. What's up, Bristol?
We got to get them rich, man. Otherwise, they're going to keep doing it.
we got to get them rich. So I remember in college, I had a professor who said, you kids all want to vote Democrat because you ain't paying taxes yet.
Yeah, but you can't get them too rich. Then they feel guilty. And then they go, yeah, so you got to get them right in the middle.
I remember his face as he was saying it with such vigor and anger. And then once we started paying taxes, I was like, yeah, I always remember this guy when he said that.
You remember that from high school. That burned you up. Hey, Gerald, let's get some questions. And I want to see what people want to know. I want to know, Gerald, I have questions. Listen, guys, Gerald is like, he's not a guy that puts on a suit and goes to work for Schwab or Vanguard or one of these guys that he tries to get other people to bring their assets under management over. Gerald trades for himself. Now, do you know how rare that is? These guys, first of all, they don't even like speaking out because they know everybody else is going to want to. You are your own hedge fund manager, Gerald.
Yeah, that's how I see it. That's what it is. If you look at what hedge funds do, they're acquiring assets and trying to grow them. And
forget that, Gerald. If you don't mind sharing with the audience, tell them what your return was last year on managing your own money.
Yeah, last year was little like 106% last year. No, that's active trading.
Let's stop a second. Stop. Let's not just skip over that. 106%. Gerald made a return on his own money. That's not discussing it with an asset manager or this is Gerald trading his own money. So
that's sweet, man.
When Chris and I were discussing about doing this tonight, I said, Chris, man, we need to get Gerald down here because he has a different understanding of the market than we do. So Gerald, man, thank you for participating.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, that's
stuff. MFG people love Gerald. What's the MFG? It must be some Gerald thing.
Yeah, man, that's a money flow gang. These guys trade with me.
I love it. Shout out Gerald.
And that helps having it keeps you on your toes. And these are people that trade their own money too. And if you just start doing that, obviously doing it by yourself in the closet is going to be harder than hanging out with people who do it, which is why you guys hang out, which is how you guys met, right?
Actually, yeah, we met at an entrepreneurial conference. It had nothing to do with real estate. It was just entrepreneurship in general. And that's how Chris and I met.
Yeah, all these, people, they see one of my videos, they hear me talk, and they're interested. And next thing you know, and then someone else, you end up getting close to,
Good people.
Yeah.
They spend their dollars with you, then they turn out to be. But Gerald, you were talking about this effect. Y'all call questions in. Gerald's a trader.
Yeah.
Dan, both of us real estate guys. I wouldn't give you our opinion. But Gerald, you want to share? You got something on the screen? Just give us a little key indicator of what you got there, man. What's on your mind?
About me? What's on my mind? What I think is going to happen?
Yeah.
No, just in general. You got your screen there. What are you looking at?
I got some specific questions for Gerald. Gerald's a big crypto. Gerald's not only crypto, but he invests conservative stocks because I ain't gonna lie to you. I've gotten some great stock investments from Gerald, right? And I'm real conservative, so he doesn't tell me about any of the crazy stuff, right? So Gerald, where do you think Bitcoin is going as of now? Where is Bitcoin at? Or where is it going up or down as Trump is winning? Is that going up or down?
Caller, hold the line 1 second. Caller, hold the line 1 second. Go ahead, Gerald. We got one caller coming.
Yeah, they're right now. They're both headed up, man.
Bring it on the screen. Oh, okay, gotcha. Go ahead, Gerald.
It should. Is it not on?
It's on.
How it is. Yep.
Okay, might be a delay there.
Caller, hold 1 second.
So Trump. If Trump wins tonight, where do you see Bitcoin going to?
I don't know. I think here's the problem with a lot of this is as soon as in the market they have this, buy the rumor, sell the news. And so, the market has been going up pretty good for a while. If Trump wins, we're going to go up, man. I think the market's anticipating him winning. That's why, and he's a big advocate of Bitcoin. This administration has been an enemy of Bitcoin, other than it, eventually got into an ETF.
So now I see the S&P went up today too. Why do you suspect that went up? Because so the market doesn't seem to be scared of who wins or who doesn't today. Why?
Yeah. We got Bitcoin at 70,982.
Oh,
so
yeah, baby.
That's up like $2,000.
I'm happy about that.
Yeah, it's flew. I'm in future, like on this is the riskier side, but I have 7 Bitcoins in the futures market.
Hey guys, let's take a caller. Dan, we got a caller on the line. Can we take the call and then we get back to you?
Yeah, let's do that.
Caller, state your name and where you're calling from, if you don't mind.
Yeah, my name's Andrew. I'm calling from New Hampshire.
Hey, Andrew. Thanks for coming on with us.
Thank you for participating tonight.
New Hampshire.
Yeah,
if you don't mind, give me your name again. I couldn't hear it.
Andrew.
Andrew. Okay, cool. Andrew, what you got today for us?
Yeah, so what I do for a living, I work for I'm part of the 4-city trading group. We're out of Portland, Oregon. We've got 13 sister companies all across the U.S. And our main focus is building products. I'm a commodity broker selling lumber for a living here. A lot of my customers are retail yards, distribution centers, all across the U.S. And my question's on your thoughts on, where the building space is going in the next 4 years in commercial and residential new construction as real estate investors for you guys. So I'm just trying to see, growth in my business on the commodity side of things, where I think that market might be headed versus, what the real estate sector is seeing out there also.
Good question, Andrew. I'll let Dan start with that.
So Andrew, and again, and if Gerald and Chris disagree with me, by all means, please tell me. I personally think if you want to go into the commercial side, new builds should be in the industrial park side because we don't have enough of them, especially with all the manufacturing that's coming back. Especially like during Clinton's administration and Bush Senior and Bush Junior's administration, so many companies were leaving the country because of they were encouraged to as a result of the NAFTA bill that had passed, right? But now those companies are starting to come back because the quality of their products have suffered while they were away, especially in China. In addition to other incentives that the government has put into place. So all those warehouses and those commercial places that were in the city got converted into like lofts and townhouses and luxury apartments because most of those factories, warehouses,
they're doing everything from residential shopping malls to multifamily developments.
Yeah, so I personally don't see shopping malls growing because I think it's a waste, right? Because you could get everything online, and I suspect you're going to start seeing things being delivered within an hour to your home from the time that you even order it. Now, I think those places will be good for cold storage for those same companies that want to deliver quickly. But if it's not mom and pop stores, things that they can't go to Amazon for, like a haircut, right? A barbershop, a dog grooming place, pizzeria, a Chinese takeout restaurant, those type of things. Those are all community-based things, right? You still need offices for doctors, for people to go to. Now, I wouldn't touch anything with commercial brick and mortar that you need an anchor store for at this moment in time. But I personally think that the residential side of the business has a lot of room to grow because we still don't have enough housing. And I think the industrial park side of the business is where the commercial side will grow in.
To that extent, right? Because I'm selling building products here. You expect new home construction to improve, over the next 5 years?
Oh, without a doubt, we still don't have enough. We still don't have enough inventory for the population growth.
Inventory. Let me rewind though, Andrew. Tell me what you're seeing.
Yep.
Tell me what you're seeing. What I'm seeing here in Virginia Beach area, huge industrial buildings going up. I mean, I can count 5 that I can see in my head driving by there, putting these things up left and right. What are you seeing up there regarding these, regarding commercial new construction?
Yeah, it's strong in certain parts of the country. A lot of my are like log home builders, right? We have a big footprint in them, and they've been, quite frankly, pretty slow. Not sure if that's a demographic thing.
That sounds like a
that,
unique product right there. That sounds like you talk about a real log cabin type thing.
Sell to some of the largest log home builders here in the U.S. Our company does, but we're just trying to see. I'm trying to hear from you guys what your thoughts are on new home construction on the next 5 years.
Shit, man, it's cranking, dude. It's cranking.
I mean, new home construction over the next 5 years. The reality is that I would stay in the middle of the road. I wouldn't be going for the high end stuff, and I wouldn't be going low end stuff. I'd be right in the middle of the road.
I am in the middle. That's what we do. I mean,
yeah. So there's not enough housing. Period. There's not enough apartment buildings, nor there's enough single family houses. Right now, the question becomes, depending on who wins. Right. So, I don't think either one of these candidates has a plan that's going to actually help us, especially your side of the business. So, if Trump wins, he said, "Look, I'm going to put tariffs on everything coming in from
that would be scary,
right?" And his argument is, well, if we make it difficult and expensive for them to sell their items here, they're going to come into the States and start building their factories here, creating more jobs, then that will lower the cost of their products, right? So. And then, Harris is coming out with she wants to give everybody $25,000. And I'm like, that's a joke. All you're going to do is now increase the price of the house. Right. So it's going to make me more unaffordable. Yep. So, but, your thing is, if Trump does put in the tariffs, how will that affect your business?
Good question. I wish I had a clear answer for it,
Yeah, we all trying to figure that one out, bro. Andrew, I think you got some good stuff to think about, but I don't think one of the things of new construction, dude, I am, and that's what we do. And I mean, we have people waiting for houses. I mean, they are in the Virginia Beach area. The demand is still way higher than the supply, brother.
Yeah, listen,
I
just have my first turnover in a long time in Brooklyn. And the rent is $3,400 a month, and they pay their own heat and hot water, and it's only 750 square feet.
Oh my gosh! How do you sleep at night? How do you go to bed at night charging those?
Actually, believe it or not, that's very reasonable rent for that area. I know it sounds crazy, but the point is, I've had over 8 applications already for that in a week.
We're good.
Yeah, so it's not. There's still a need for housing in the country.
Oh man,
the problem is, if the cost of material continues to go up the way it is, it keeps making it extremely unaffordable
for the end buyer. Andrew, good luck to you, man. Let us know how that turns out.
I appreciate that. Taking my call. Thanks for everything you guys do.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you.
Take care.
Gerald, I want to hear what Gerald ain't saying nothing. Darren, we got a special guest on here. What you looking at, Gerald? Give us some information on what Eric was saying.
Yeah, I was looking at the S&P right now. It's actually moved up. So,
break it down to me like I'm a 2-year-old. I don't know what you're talking about.
The S&P 500.
I'm talking about on the screen. What am I?
Let me put it back. I didn't know you guys could see it there. Yeah. So this is a 1-minute chart. So right here.
We don't see it now. We don't see it.
Yeah, give it just a second. There's a slight delay.
There you go.
I've noticed it. You notice how the screen is gray right here?
On the right?
Yeah, that's the time after the market closed. So this is 4 o'clock. Each one of these little bars is 5 minutes. So kind of tracking the market here every 5 minutes.
Wow, every 5 minutes.
Now we typically day trade on a 1 minute, but I didn't want to. But
1 minute.
Yeah, if you're day trading, I mean, only do that during the day though. If we look at Bitcoin right now, let's pull that up.
Round up, calling with your call 757-204-1332.
Gerald was saying Bitcoin last time he looked at it was at 70,000. That's up almost
2,000. 71. It's gone up $1,000 since we talked. 71,463.
Look at this.
$3,000 since this afternoon.
But let me show you this.
No, 71.
Gerald.
70.
Gerald, does that have anything to do with this here?
Let me see. I can't.
You can't see the screen.
Yeah, Trump just jumps up 177.
Look at this.
99.
Yeah, I have 7 Bitcoins in the futures market. I did not pay what Bitcoin cost. I paid what Bitcoin ago, but I paid only a 10%.
Break that down for us, Gerald. The ones that don't know.
Yeah, now this is not something I would tell people to run out and do, but as you develop skills as a real estate investor, you might all of a sudden flip a house, and you're not a house flipper. You just learn as you go, right? You learn skills. Same in the market, and that's what messes most people up. They come in the stock market and they go to the hardest, most advanced thing. Go, I'll do that. It's like they're gonna, hey, let me just buy a shopping center. I'm gonna start with that, not a house. That's yeah. Some people can do that, but a lot of people cannot. That they're underfunded.
So show us that Bitcoin thing again. As I look at here, we got Trump crushing.
So this allows futures market allows you to buy. Okay, it's even gone up. Look, it's already up another $276 since we talked.
Good Lord, this is what you do, Gerald. This is cool.
Yeah, if it's going your way. Now, what I do, I believe there's a pattern in the charts I call the money flow, and that's what I teach, is how to track this and how to buy it at the lows and highs. It works pretty good. Dan will tell you. I'll call him every once in a while. I don't go through all this with him. I just tell him what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't have the mental bandwidth to understand or even want to learn it, man.
You don't even want you don't even learn this.
I'll be like, yo, Joe, just tell me what to buy.
Just tell me what to do.
Yeah, so I'm looking at my so I could sell these right now if I wanted to, but I'm in for the ride.
So where do you see Bitcoin going up to if Trump wins tonight, or looks like he may win?
If enough money, Bitcoin can do a 20% move in an evening. I've seen it.
Wow.
It could easily do 8,000-9,000. If I don't. It confuses me with all of a sudden Trump is a Bitcoiner.
What do you mean?
When he was president, he didn't like Bitcoin.
Really?
Yeah, he was against Bitcoin when he was president.
Okay.
But then the Bunker twins gave him $70 million in Bitcoin. He liked it. Look, we could have done that originally if that's all we had to do.
Gerald, you're a mess.
But I get it. I liked Bitcoin too when I made a little money on it. That's how it works. Now, get this. Anyone who's ever bought Bitcoin is in profit right now.
Because it's highest it's ever been?
Yeah. So everyone I talked to who didn't, you don't have as much money. And when I took the stage in Brooklyn, I pulled out a Bitcoin and said, hey, before you buy some real estate, go buy this.
Actually, so when we did Campfire Real Estate at the Brooklyn Bank, it was Welby, myself, Gerald Peters, and Mark McMahon. I remember you went up. I think you were you the first or the second one up?
Second.
The second one up, and he pulled out a Bitcoin. He was like, "Buy this," and at that time, it was like 20,000 a Bitcoin.
Yeah. It's a 3x. So everyone that came said, "Well, I don't have quite enough money to buy anything." Now you would have 3x'd your money.
Yeah. So I wish I had bought it then. I didn't buy it until it was at 50, but.
So if you think about that, that's all I had to say, and then sit down, and then they could have gave a seminar, and I 3x my money. I didn't need to tell them anymore, right?
End of class.
Here's what people do, but how? They'll just, so you got to handhold them,
Yeah, that's true.
Also,
this stuff.
The thing that makes me mad about Bitcoin is you could just buy $10 and play with it. There's people who can't play with it. They're that stubborn.
What do you mean, Gerald? Play with it.
You can just click. You got $20 of Bitcoin.
Oh, I see. It ain't like you got to buy a whole 60,000 thing.
Yeah, and all it takes is thumbs. You got to go boom, boom. I'll buy some right now. We'll buy some Bitcoin.
Wow.
It's that fast. So everyone is not making a bunch of money on Bitcoin. Just couldn't go boom, boom.
Somebody says Sugarlum says his Bitcoin's at 72 now. Look at this, yo.
No, I got 7 of them. Yeah.
Gerald. I have one.
I didn't go to Harvard.
All right.
I didn't even go to college, man. You don't need college to look at a chart. But then you got to read. I learned that 8th grade, 5th grade.
Oh God. He's like,
get your questions in, y'all. Get your questions. Call in. Call to this guy.
I may text my group. Tell them get up.
They can see you. Everybody's here. Gerald, they blowing. Everybody's here. Really, Gerald got the most people. 757-204. Listen, Gerald, you gonna buy something online right now?
Yeah, I don't want to show the thing though, but I can.
Want me to take you off?
No. I mean, do I want to show them I'm buying it? No, because then they can see.
Okay.
Yeah, hey man, here's the thing about Bitcoin. Once you send it, it's gone. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Ain't no turning back.
Yeah, so it means if I put a gun to your head, I get all your Bitcoin.
Caller, you're on the line with Dan Barrero, Gerald, and Chris Haskins. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Hello, how you guys? My name is Mo, and I'm calling you from actually out of country, from Canada.
Canada.
How are you, Mo?
Ottawa, Ontario, to be specific.
Canada in the house. How are you?
Good. Thank you. I'm a former New Yorker. I used to live in New York, and I moved out back in 2004, so I couldn't take any more of when the president at the time got reelected, Bush, so I kind of ran away from the.
Okay. Talk about making a political statement.
Yeah, that was right on time right there, brother.
So how can we help you, Mo?
Hold on, Mo. You got kicked off. 1 second, Mo. 1 second. Okay, go ahead,
And if
Mo.
I may pick your brain.
Yes.
Or brains, I should say.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of thing in the U.S. in a single family home or detached home, say anywhere from 200,000 to 300,000. Well, I'm just trying to see what you guys would recommend for me to kind of get to kind of prepare my retirement portfolio. In terms of like, looking forward in the next probably 5 to 10 years, probably 10 years exit.
Are you looking to buy this for yourself, or are you looking to buy it as an investment?
No, as an investment. Like I know we live in my primary residence back here in Ottawa, all good. And I'm also a stock guy, like our friend. So I'm not doing as good as Gerald. I just did 130% for last year. Well, so far this year to date.
Wow! Congratulations.
But thanks. But I just more like a very concentrated portfolio, buying and hold. But thank you. So now I'm trying to do property detached in the U.S. So I'm trying to get maybe to like 5 properties in the next 10 years. And now I've been watching a lot of Chris' video. He kind of scared me a little bit. So tenants and toilets. So I'm trying to follow his model to kind of do the bank.
Hey, Mo, please don't let that character.
Yes.
Don't let that character on the videos, man, scare you. Just because when I'm doing the videos, I'm sure Gerald and Dan are the same way. We try to get off a certain message across. And that's not
right.
That doesn't mean it's going to be all the time. Okay, so Dan's a traditional landlord, right, Dan?
I'm a traditional landlord, but I'm not going to kid you. As I get closer to retirement, I'm starting to change that format. So
okay.
How old are you, Mo?
Which direction? Look, Mo, if you're looking to buy single family homes and you at those price points, you're gonna have to go to the Midwest. You're not getting anything. Or you may be able to go to the Sun Belt, like some parts of the northern part of Florida, but you're not going to go to the southern part of Florida with that amount. But I personally don't like single family homes because in my backyard I have multifamily properties that I could buy, right? So if I'm going to go get an estimate for a roof, for instance, right? Well, I only have one rental income, one roof estimate, versus if I go to get an estimate, which is going to take me the same amount of time and probably cost me almost as much for a 4-family. At least I got 4 incomes coming in for the same time that I spent getting that estimate, right? So that's the way I look at it. But that's yard. I have that available to me now. If in Texas, where Gerald's at, you don't have multifamily homes, so he invests in single family. Am I right, Gerald?
Yeah, all single family. I have them all for sale right now. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'm 17, but yeah, I do also. I mean, also that's because I did the work. I mean, I started when I was 30. Me and the wife were in there painting. We're doing drywall. We do everything. We self-manage. That's what you work with what you have, where you are, with what you can do. Right? I mean, if you can get on the floor, get on the floor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. No. Thank you. I appreciate your advice because you guys, you fellas are, the leaders. So we're trying to kind of follow your footsteps. I'm kind of heading. I'm going to push 47 this year. So last
47.
quarter mile, before you hit the last stretch.
How old are you?
That's not the last stretch, brother.
Bro, 47?
You got 20. You got 20,
No,
23 more years.
I'm going to be 47. I'm trying to get rid of these corporate golden handcuffs.
All right, but that's not the last stretch, man. You making me feel like I'm old shit, saying that's the last stretch.
Why is he only buying 5?
No.
Oh, you can buy 5
He
in
is
there.
I
old.
take it back.
That
Let's
is
put it this
old,
way.
man.
What I mean by that,
Old
just so we're
geezer.
clear, not in terms of age, but in terms of like getting back my freedom. Let's put it this way.
Okay.
Yeah, that could be.
Hey,
Gerald,
you
what
know
did
what?
you
That's
say?
a lie, though. Hold on. Well,
Man, I don't even know what this guy's talking about. He's talking about buying 5 houses, dude. He could do that in fucking a year. What are we talking about?
listen, no. You talking about freedom, wanting to be self-employed? Keep working. You have
You
more
ain't gonna-
freedom working for somebody else.
Bro, you ain't gonna get free.
Listen,
We just talked about that, Dan. We
Am I
just
lying?
talked about that on
Gerald, how many
Sunday.
hours a week do you work, Joe?
If I'm awake, seriously.
Me? No.
If I'm awake,
Right now,
Hold on,
I
Mo.
do-
Mo,
I
hold on.
work
One
about
second.
37.5.
Mo, 1 second.
Bud.
He's
Sorry,
talking to Gerald. Let Gerald
Sorry.
go.
I know
if
Gerald.
I'm awake, I work.
Hold on a second, Dan.
If I'm awake, I'm working.
Okay. What about you, Chris? How many hours a week you work, Chris?
Bro,
At
he ain't working
least
at all. Oh,
six
you are calling him.
At least, and like Gerald said, if I'm awake, I'm working. You know what Ron LeGrand says? I'm watching TV, I'm working. I'm eating dinner, I'm working.
Hey,
I'm
Yeah,
you.
your
waiting for
mind's
the
going.
morning.
Your mind's going.
I'm always working. So
Right.
I
So-
don't know what this work
So
less thing
being
is.
self-employed doesn't give you freedom. So please don't say don't.
And not 5 houses, that ain't gonna give you nothing but a part-time job.
Yeah, exactly.
You gotta get
All right,
more.
Mo, we need you to say something, Mo. They're talking to you. They're coming. They're coming
All
hard.
right. I have a lot of echo, but all I'm saying is, let's put it this way. I'm not afraid of work. Believe me. I worked in New York. I was doing 10 to 12 hours a day, 6-7 days straight. I did that for almost like 15, 20 years.
Wow.
And now I went to the phase of the family, so I got to kind of take my foot gas off a little bit off the pedal and doing the property investment like owner flip. So I went through like 5 or 6 home flips in the past decade. So now, in the meantime, doing my portfolio stocks things on the side, plus the jobs. So now I'm trying to kind of pivot to just kind of
What's your net worth?
getting different kind of work, but me working for me, basically.
What's your net worth right now? Roundabout.
Not about 1.5.
Okay. 125 or up?
1.5.
Oh, 1.5. Okay.
No, about 1.5. 1.5.
You're doing
Right.
good.
Good deal.
Good for you. Before you go, Mo, I want to talk to Mo real quick. I heard you say,
Yeah, sure.
we hear these key words. I heard you say, take foot off the gas.
That's what I hear.
You heard that? Did you hear that, Gerald?
Oh, I heard, man.
He said he wants to enjoy family. It sounds like he wants to kind of start enjoying his life.
Yeah.
And I don't know if buying real estate will do that. Like tradition, like I look at Dan Barrero, the guy doesn't have to do shit, but he's always fucking working, right? He does that to maintain his properties. He's big on management. Like Dan doesn't have to acquire anything else. He's in a management mode. You are going to be in the acquisition mode, which is a lot more active, right? So people, traditional landlords, in my opinion, I don't know if they can get highly passive income as opposed to just being a bank. And even Dan is coming, and I'm not saying Dan is doing it like me. I'm just saying he's just adapting a different mindset as he's looking at the overall quality of his life right now. And I mean, Dan needs to really step in and talk about this shit, dude, because you've been living it for all this years as a traditional landlord, which I refuse to do anymore, you know?
Okay. You see, that's what I'm calling. I'm calling to talk to the real folks to get the real feedback. So I appreciate that.
Speak up, Dan. Speak the hell up. Dan, you, Gerald, are you a traditional landlord or what do you do? Let me get Gerald.
Dan he's a New Yorker, so.
Yeah, but my wife is the property manager. I don't manage the properties. I work.
Okay, so you're hands off.
The whole family, man. What do you mean get with family? They're going to be working with you. Like, yeah, the family's there.
So Gerald's hands off.
Gerald's not hands off. I see Gerald. Man,
I work on properties.
Anything if he has to, he's not hands off.
Yeah, no, I work on the properties, and then when we go over there when the market closes, I go work on properties pretty much every day when I'm in Texas.
Yeah, so this is big. Gerald, that's
Family
huge.
manages.
If
You know, my
Mo
wife
is getting it, Gerald, if Mo is getting in this thing to get more time and enjoy his life, I just think that we may need to just help him with his vision. That's all.
Yeah.
No, thank you guys. Thank you. So I know I don't want to hold the line up and hold you guys up. It's election night, but I'm definitely gonna connect with you guys so you can kind of dig deep, so I can get some kind of guidance. Definitely. And I appreciate that, and thank you for your wisdom, your advice, and I love you guys. Oh,
Much
God
love to
bless.
you. Thank you. Hey
Thank you.
Mo, get a consultation, my brother. Spend a few dollars to get a consultation with one of us so we can look at your whole picture and all that stuff. Dan and Gerald, we don't want to beat him up. I just want to make sure that he's clear on this is not a get in the game to get more time back. I don't know.
Well, that was pitched to people. You know that. That's what a lot of the gurus did. They do that in the stock game too. I'll listen to people say you only need 15 minutes a day. And I'm like, what do we? What? 15? I can't even get my shit. What? And they're making millions. They only work 15 minutes. And everyone, I'm like, that's, and then they'll come to me and they're like, wow, this is I mean, why are we, it's a lot. And I'm like, yeah.
Joe, you're a mess.
I like to see it.
Oh, Bitcoin just hit 75,000, Gerald.
No, it said it may hit 75.
So
Dan,
question here for Gerald.
Gerald, what's your play for Bitcoin? Do you plan on cashing out at a certain point or just hold as long as possible? Gerald Peters.
All of the above. I buckets. It's weird. This generation is an all in, all out kind of generation. You know what I mean? There's one kind, that's it. And I'm like,
just give me the one secret.
Yeah, it's like, why can't we do all of that?
So Gerald, let's say it went up to 75, 78. Will you sell some of your position, let it come back down and buy back in?
No. My actual Bitcoin? No, because I got Bitcoin on the futures market that expires this month. It's a contract. So I'll be selling that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to capture all this gain and keep my Bitcoin. And then I also own Bitcoin that pays me dividends. There's synthetic Bitcoins that buy and sell call options to all these idiots out here buying them. And that they generate income. The dividend, nobody, real estate guys don't believe me when I say this, but the yield's like 47% a year.
I believe it. Probably.
We have portfolios, no bullshit, they get 60% a year. But that can go up and down. Like things change, right? I've seen Bitcoin fall to 18.
I remember last year.
Look on my Instagram. I said, don't buy your stupid kids anything. Buy them Bitcoin. Because that was like the low. Chris Johnson, a famous influencer, we're on the phone. And he's like, hey, G, I just bought $3 million of Bitcoin at like 13,400. Look at the price now.
God.
I bet his followers sold their Bitcoin.
All right. He sells resale. Back in the day before I had a stroke, I had a couple of Bitcoins and it was like 22,000.
No, $22 or 22,000. Either way.
Oh,
why'd you sell it? You know why
Gerald,
people sell their assets? Because they don't have their money right, man.
Yeah. Gerald, what's your opinion on Ethereum? Is that up? Is that up now too?
Yeah, if Bitcoin's up, they're all up. I don't like Ethereum. Ethereum's controlled by a couple people. There's the creators around. So he's running it, and it's super expensive, and there's already coins that can easily replace it. I'm not a fan of Ethereum. I don't own crypto for the reason a lot of crypto guys own crypto. All these coins that are going to do things. Nobody uses crypto. People use Bitcoin.
So I'm looking at Bitcoin now. It's at $72,733.
I can't believe it.
Yeah, I own Solana and a few others. I just think Ethereum's cool, but it just doesn't make money. I mean, it makes money. The fees are ridiculous when you have to use it. That's why I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
My favorite is Bitcoin Cash.
The gas. Hey, y'all. I want to talk about. Oh, anybody got questions? Put your questions in. Sorry about that, y'all. Call in. Do you guys feel pressure on not talking about who you're going to vote for? Because somebody here wants to know who we vote for, or who not. I don't even want to know who you voted for, but who do you think will win?
I think we need to see what Pennsylvania, who Pennsylvania comes in for.
Bring in the Kamala.
Yeah,
we got Kamala at 54%.
so far in Pennsylvania.
We got
Which one?
1% other. Look at that. It's 20,000 people at other. I didn't know my man was running for president. I didn't even know Jordan Peterson was running for president.
Well, listen,
I
guys.
mean,
Right, it's right now it looks a little lopsided. Whereas Trump's got 178 electoral votes versus Kamala has 99. But
99.
it's still a long night to go.
Who you got? Anybody going to Gerald? You think you got somebody you think he's going to win or what? Somebody wants to know.
Dipshit 1 and 2. I'm gonna go with Trump.
I think Trump's going to win.
I mean, hey, if I had to pick one, that's what I'm picking. But I didn't even vote this time. I'm gonna be honest. Actually,
why not, Gerald?
I was in Iraq and a few other war zones. Feel like I have the right not to.
Wow.
I have zero energy for it. I really don't care anymore at all. I have one mission: to get me and my family rich and teach others. I really don't even have 3 minutes for anything else.
You know what? Let's talk about that if you don't mind a little bit more.
I'm on a mission. I'm not saying I don't think everyone should be like me. I know they can't, man. I'm bulletproof. Most guys can. So yeah, I think it's cool. People should vote and do all that. Like I said, I served in the Army. I went to war. I did it. Now I'm doing my part. I pay a lot of taxes. I do a lot of good stuff, trying to help the citizens get richer. Outside of that, it's so corrupt, man. I don't think either side cares about me.
Exactly. It sounds so funny though how, my argument is these people try to put us against each other, both parties, right? And they spew all this hate,
division,
and indecisiveness, and division. And it's funny because we're fighting. Like I know family members that won't talk to each other anymore because of this, right? Because of the politics.
How simple-minded can you be?
And what's crazy is that, when I look at these politicians, right, like they all go in broke and they all, like within 2 to 4 years, are wealthy millionaires, right? And then they all belong to the same rich country clubs that you and I can't get into. They all send their kids to the same rich schools that we can't afford to send our kids to. They all get their kids into like Yale and Harvard, even though they truly don't qualify academically.
Best health care.
Right. So, why are we fighting again? Like, I don't believe either one of these political parties have our interests at heart. They're more concerned about the power at hand, because with the power they get wealthy. So,
we fighting each other for peanuts and scraps.
Right. So why I don't try not to spend a lot of mental time on that, because that's time that I could be using to make money.
But still, do you think? Well, we got one guy. Gerald says he thinks Trump's going to take it. Which one? I just think there are a lot of white males in this country that just do not want to see a woman in charge. And I'm not saying that is.
I don't believe that. I think we're past that. I believe it's just I don't know what it is, man.
Shit, they're already in charge of everything. We don't need to give them the White House, do we? We've already got every other house in America.
I love it.
We have one house. Just one.
You know what? I'll say that.
I don't have this one.
Who's in charge of your house? Who's in charge of your house, Chris?
Come on, man.
My wife is in charge.
We have one house. That's all I want.
Gerald is the greatest trader alive. Jessica, that's really cool to say.
Come on, guys, give us your questions. That's what we are here. So if you want to, you want to ask us how you think who wins, or how this election is going to affect either the stock market, crypto, real estate, call it.
What do you think about this? Guys, Dan Delight says there's a hidden woman vote that probably being undercounted. That could be true.
I don't believe it's being undercounted. I was speaking to a friend, somebody today from Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania is a swing state, and she was saying that when she got there at 8:00, and she had to wait almost an hour and a half to vote, and she couldn't get over all the women that were online.
I would love to see the women. I don't know. I mean, in my opinion, even I tell my wife, I'm like, every time my wife's involved in something, shit runs way smoother.
You're right.
Calvin, to take away from politics, because how do you stay consistent with creating YouTube videos while managing real estate business? Ooh, that's a big one right there.
That's huge.
That is big,
How do
Gerald.
we stay consistent with our social media while managing our business?
I'll give
I
you the
gotta
easy
tell
way.
you.
Do it. That's one
What
way.
do you think, Gerald?
Do it. Like, just keep your damn word. You said you're going to film today. Get up and film.
But I can't think of what to film.
I know, dude. I'd go through this. I go, oh, you know, I'm a professional trader, right? And they're like, yeah, and a YouTuber. Yeah, and I publish a newsletter, and I've written 5 books.
Wow.
And they're on they took the weekend off, and yeah,
That's what kills me. What
Yeah.
is, Gerald? What is off?
I don't know.
I don't even know what.
I had a kid tell me, he goes, "What do you do in your free time?" And I was
Yeah.
like, "You in 8th grade? What? I changed the world, man. I'm trying to get rich. What do you do?" He goes, "Plays what? He's playing games. What is he doing?" I was like, "You know how childish you sound right now."
Yeah.
That was his big concern. If he, what was that?
But I got
love this guy.
it is
Selfish.
the social media aspect, whether it's YouTube or Facebook,
Yeah.
whatever it is. I spend I with no exaggeration, I spend like 2 to 3 hours a day on that.
It ain't easy. Let's dig into this though. I don't want to leave Calvin. Calvin, my man. This dude is good-looking guy. He's a mobile notary. He's down in Florida. He's really killing the game right now, man. Really
Calvin,
good.
look, the reality is this, man. It's all about time management, and how much
Let's
you
give him
want
something deeper than that, though.
Oh, don't worry about it being perfect. Hit the damn button, record it, and post it. Let's go.
Out of 10 videos,
Check my
out of-
filter. He might be doing it like a girl. We got to shoot it over. We got to do 3 more posts.
yeah, he
I watch
might.
dudes do that. I go, bro, you do that one more time, I'm leaving. One shot, one take. Let's go.
Hey, I want to share with everyone here. That was me before I met Chris Haskins, right? And I remember Chris Haskins, we're hanging out at a bar in Dallas, Texas. And Chris said, "Man, you got so much knowledge, man." And that was the first night we met. He goes, "Let's go live." I was like, "What's that?"
We scared him right on the spot. Let's go.
Like, how do you do that? Like, what does that mean? And he said, "Whatever we say, it's going to be live." I said, "So we can't go back and edit and change?" He goes, "No." I said, "Oh, Chris, I don't know if I could do that." And he didn't even take, before I finished saying it, he was already going live. So I didn't have a choice but to go live with him at the moment. Yeah. And Chris took me out of that mentality. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Yeah, that's how you do it. And on the way out, grab the phone and talk while you're getting in the car. This is why I don't drive, bro. Once I got enough money where I don't have to drive, I don't drive. I got shit to do. So while I'm in the car, I can respond to emails, I can film, I can edit, I can post, I can do more than mortal men because I'm not doing chores, I'm not buying groceries, I'm not wasting my time doing unproductive things.
I love that.
If you're an earner, now if you ain't got shit to do, go to the grocery store. But if you got videos to edit and things to put up, talking to the guy today, he had to mow the yard and all that. Bro, what are we talking about? Yeah, mow the yard and earn money to pay someone. But if you got videos to edit, you need to do that.
Yeah,
because
exactly. Let's stick there a second, guys. Like I have a landscaper.
Huge.
I will not cut grass.
No.
And the crazy part is that I enjoy cutting the grass. It relaxes me.
I do too.
I enjoy working in the yard. It relaxes.
Plus, it's yours. You own it. You're making it good.
Do that and act like they're doing something instead of doing something actual productive. We were doing it because we had to, right? I get that. But once you have the other thing, do that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So, listen, I'm not going to kid you. I have a landscaper, but I'll get off. If I'm sitting at my desk for 5-6 hours straight, I'm going to get up off my ass. I'm going to find something to do in the yard because it relaxes my mind. I'm not doing it because I have to do it to save money. I'm doing it because I need to relax my mind and to move my body and get out of my desk, right? But within 40 minutes, I'm right back at my desk and I'm kicking ass again, right? So we're not doing yard work because we don't have the money to pay for it. We're doing yard work because it helps us relax our mind while we're outside breathing some fresh air.
My neck hurts for walking and editing videos at the same time. No bullshit. Seriously, I'm walking down the street for 2 hours like that because then I got to take a call and that's.
Let me ask you guys a question.
I've been
Hold on, Gerald.
Let me ask you guys a question. Like when I go to the doctor's office, right?
Yeah.
I take my headset with me right here.
Yeah.
And I'm editing my videos while I'm sitting waiting for my doctor to call me.
You're not playing video games?
No, I'm sure you guys do the same thing. Am I lying?
Yeah.
I'm editing, dog.
Yeah. Bro, when I sit down, I look over and I'm like, what? He's over there looking. I mean, the dumbest things there.
Gerald, what do you say to yourself when you see somebody playing those stupid Candy Crush games?
Yeah. When it's a young dude, it depends on how they look. You know, some dudes don't look like they want your advice. You know what I mean? So I try to weigh that, but I'll look at them and I go, man, you must be killing it, bro. You loaded? You rich? Go. I am, and I ain't got time to play video games. I was just wondering what you're doing. I'd like to have that time. Act like I'm serious, you know? And they'll usually say, no, I'm not. And I go, no shit, you're playing video games. Well, you know, while other men are making money. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, that's for real, man.
I can't, Gerald. When I see, you know what? I love this is my channel. If you don't like it, I love you. But we can agree to disagree. Gerald, Dan, when I see people at a doctor's office or wherever I might see them, where am I waiting at somewhere? Where are we waiting at somewhere? Doctor's office. Yeah, that's best. And I see them pull off
line at the post office.
Standing in line and you're playing a video game. I'm like, how do you have the mental capacity to focus on winning a game when it's so much shit?
Right. I'm gonna give you guys
that you could be doing.
I mean, how could you podcast? There's 3 buttons.
I'm
going to go live is 2 buttons.
Gerald. Chris Haskins and I, we were in Vegas for a conference. We walking around. Everybody after the conference is at the crap table, the blackjack table, right?
Slot machines.
I think Chris and I were the only ones there that didn't spend 1 cent on
$1. We're walking through the machine. I didn't even see it really. It was crazy how when you see what you focus on.
Yeah. Right. What you just said is a lesson that I teach. I'm like, bro, you know that everybody knows that once you're looking at a particular car, you start kind of noticing it. And they go, I don't know how you pick these stocks. That's all I see. So you see other things. All I see is tickers everywhere. I mean, that's why I see them in my own mind. Like I see it, and I start recalling shit. That who's the CEO or what's the dividend yield? Or we were just looking at that. That's what I'm seeing. I don't know what the poor people are seeing. They're listening to. I don't know. I don't know what they're listening to. I don't know what they're doing.
It's not your business to know.
Yeah, that's. Man, and man, you change what he just said there. All of a sudden, you're in the car listening to a podcast or listening to something about real estate. Damn, you might see some real estate. Yeah, and that houses. That's all I ever see because I do single family, and I'm sure if you do lots, you see a lot of lots, and if you do right, that's how that works.
So, what's the end answer to my man Calvin?
Yeah, I'm gonna finish this off if y'all don't mind, because
go ahead, please.
But I want, Gerald, what you said, if I could sum up what you said into the box, don't worry about, Ron LeGrand told me this. He goes, Chris, I want to talk about what I don't do. Can we talk about that? Ooh. I don't do this. For me, washing clothes was a big one. I'm like, if I can hit a button, do y'all know I can hit a button on my phone? Someone will show up at my front door, take my clothes, wash them while I'm making money, right? So the things that we don't do, Calvin, is really big. Now that changed. Now I got this huge mortgage, so I'm trying to figure out how to incorporate all of that with my monthly bills. But the main thing that I would like to say that Dan and Gerald said, what we don't do, we don't cut grass, we don't do things that are low income things. Producing content, in my opinion, is the most important skill for every entrepreneur from here out, dog. If you ain't making content, man, you are screwed. You are done. Like, if I can't hit a button right now, I can hit a button and hang out with Gerald for hours. I can hit a button and hang out with Dan Barrero for hours.
I don't like social, man.
And let's talk about that.
They say. It's crazy. I said I didn't say watch it. I said make it. Like,
Chris, you said something, man. I want the audience to truly understand how important it is. Chris says he could pick up his phone, hit the button, and call Gerald, call Dan Barrero, and vice versa, right? But when we're talking to each other, we're talking about making money.
Yeah, production.
Right.
Production.
You know, Chris and I, we were in Vegas to Peter Luger's for some steaks.
Oh yeah, that dinner was $300. Trump's at 188, by the way.
Okay. So, you know, we spent like, I think it was 300 each.
It was $300.
Or 300 altogether?
I don't know, whatever it was a lot.
Yeah, but the point is, one, because we were away, we could write it off.
Yeah, it was a write-off.
Two, we were having a good time socializing with each other, but we were like, I walked away from that trip a better human being as a businessman, right?
No doubt.
Because I was hanging out with Chris Haskins, right? So when I hang out with Gerald Peters and Mark McMahon and Welby and all these other guys, I walk away as a better business person, because a lot of times they're doing things in their business that is different than what I do. And I could pick and choose those things and incorporate that into my business, right? And so vice versa. So, you know, Calvin, one, just get it done. Don't worry about the perfection. Get it up there. As the more you do, the better you'll get at it. And, you know, start hanging out with the right people that are going to encourage you to get better at whatever that is, at whatever you do.
I got to find Calvin's thing because I want to finish it up. Calvin, I'm going to leave you with one more thing. Doesn't got to be perfect. Done is better than perfect. Let's leave you with that. Done is better than perfect. I am producing content. One take. My mentor said, Chris, I'm making one take going to the bank while everybody else is editing. And I'm making one take and I'm going to the bank. I'm cashing my check. I mean, one take, I'm going to the bank while everybody else is editing. I will leave you with that. Number 3. Pick a day where all you do is content. For me, Friday is my day. Like Friday, I don't want to hear nothing. We're making content, boom, boom, boom. We're editing, we're doing whatever. So if you don't treat this if you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. All right, Calvin, we're done with that one. I hate politics. It creates division. That is true. Call in with your questions, y'all. You got Gerald Peters and Dan Barrero, 2 mammoths, 2 mavericks.
Forget that. You got Chris Haskins on here.
You got me too, y'all.
I know when you're doing it right. When everyone around you goes, "Hey, man, do you do anything else?" Like, they're like, "Hey, you got to relax. You got to do." They're always. That's when you're doing. Sunday for studying, I read a lot, and Sundays like 5 or 6 hours of that.
I love it.
This, that to do our homework. I mean, I do homework on Sunday.
Keep going, Gerald. I got the call, but I'll bring him in while you talk.
A lot of adults don't do homework. I assign homework to people in my group, and then I randomly text them on Sunday and say, "Let me see."
Caller, you're on the line with Gerald Peters, Dan Barrero, and Chris Haskins. Please state your name and where you're calling from, please.
What's going on, Chris? Hi, Dan. Hi, Gerald. My name's Tony. I'm calling in from the Bay Area, from San Jose, California.
Let's
Oh, man.
California in the house.
San Jose. I'm so
What's
jealous
going
of
on?
that. Can I please just trade places with you?
So how can we help you, brother?
See, I had a question kind of following on the previous caller. He was focused on making content. So I personally think that the Instagram, sometimes I think that ship has already sailed, because I tell you, I'm somewhat tech savvy, incredibly tech savvy, and I almost seem to think that especially with guys like you guys going every day, and you have so much guys that are just starting out like myself, it's almost like it's too saturated out there. My entire feed is nothing but real.
Stop! I'm gonna puke. Holy shit! Stop! No, for real, bro. Are you gonna whine the whole call?
Oh,
What is
really?
What do you?
Really? You think that?
Yes,
please,
yes.
please.
Tony,
I'm calling with an actual question.
Tony, listen. When you got value
Yo,
to
yeah.
add, it doesn't matter what everyone else is talking about. When I started doing this, I also thought that I was too late to the game.
Oh, there's too many singers. There'll never be another actor or chef.
No, man. If you confident in what you have and what you're doing, go for it, brother. Go for it. What can they do? Say no? Who gives a shit, bro? If anyone says no. Do you see where we're coming from, Tony?
I can see that. I mean, not entirely against the idea. I'm just, like I said, I've been focusing on hustling, getting this money, acquire more money to find deals, and I'm out there.
What's your business? Let me ask
I'm
you.
out there with.
What do you do?
So I am a paramedic.
Thank you for your service, brother. Thank you for that. Man.
Hey, thank you. For the last 9 years or so, I've been hustling. I've been overtime every single week. I'm working 5-6 days a week, 12-hour shifts. I got a little girl back here I'm making dinner for. And then on top of that, I was able to save up enough money. It was thanks to Mark and Gerald that I actually got off my ass.
Let me ask you a question, Tony.
We got one property.
Okay, so if you want to do social media,
you got a property, yo.
Yeah, so you know what your niche is, Tony?
Has he done any videos? Have you done any videos?
Tony, you know what your niche is? You a paramedic. You could be videoing yourself on the way to a call. You could video yourself after a call where you're not showing the victim. You don't have to show the victim.
Well, I mean, I tell you that is one thing that is a huge no-no in my profession. I mean, I'm talking people at my work are vindictive as hell, and I love them sometimes, but it's a huge no-no. Like, we have a social media policy.
Home, right? Can you tell stories at home? Stories from the road?
Listen.
Oh yeah, I do that.
Chicago Fire, Chicago MD, whatever you call it. I don't even know what you call them anymore. But you can give the narrative after the event from home, like Gerald said.
What's the saturated part? I'm still trying to understand. Paramedics with YouTube channels? Because I don't know any. Do you guys?
You are the paramedic who is a real estate investor.
Wow.
Oh, I could build your show. I'm getting pissed. This guy, what's your net worth? You're laughing. I'm not laughing. That's the problem.
I am laughing with excitement. I am, because I'm seeing, Gerald, everything you're seeing, I'm seeing it right here. Yeah. I'm like, yes.
Tony, you got a niche.
Go ahead, Gerald.
Yeah,
Tell him, Gerald. Break it down for him.
What's your net worth, though? Because you babbled about all this overtime, so I'm assuming you got a lot of money.
1.38.
1.38. Okay.
Love it. I love. How old are you, Tony?
47.
Okay.
The guy was 47.
Well, turn the phone on and record tonight. I'm gonna do it, and I'm 54. I didn't even start till I was 48. You guys think it was saturated when I was 48? Yeah, there were millions of them. I teach stocks. Get on YouTube. There's 100,000 of them. But I'm the best trader in the world. So if you would think better of yourself, your shit's going to grow. If God called you, he's going to make people watch it. Like a little confident, man.
I didn't start on social media until I was 57, 56. I was an old man.
I want to watch it, but not you've made me mad enough I might not. I'm just thinking, I hope you don't mentor anyone.
Tony, okay. Hold on.
Tony,
I gotta get Gerald.
You know what?
I'm mad for him because I already see the show. I have it all.
I do too. But
I see it. It's like this. It's like right in front of me.
I mow yards. That's my big thing.
Right in front of me.
One day mowing.
But Gerald, just like when, you know how when Michael Jackson was
shit like that. Like
Michael Jackson was with the Jackson 5s, and he was this cool little boy, and he was doing all this stuff, and then he meets Quincy Jones, and all of a sudden, R.I.P. Quincy Jones. I shed a tear today. And all of a sudden, he turns into Thriller, and he turns into Off the Wall. So when Dan, and I'm not saying I'm no Quincy Jones, but when I met Dan, I was able to see, and because that's what I do as a producer. So I have a background. I've been in the studio with Pharrell, Teddy Riley, all the names that you name it. So I've seen how they pull stuff out of people. Tony might need to read a book called Who Not How. Tony, it sounds like we need to get
Excellent book.
around the right who to put these pieces together, because how to do it, you can figure that out. But the who, if you had somebody in your life that's saying, okay, what do you think about this? What, like Gerald already, we all three of us see the show already. I'm seeing you coming home at night, bloody clothes, whatever. Guys, check this out. You show nobody, all you're doing is telling stories. You don't have to show anybody anything.
I had 50 podcasts where I told anyone.
Yeah, there you go.
And then all of a sudden they got queued up on Apple. I'm like, how did that happen? I didn't know that would happen. And there were people listening. A guy left a review, and I hadn't even put it out. Like, you know, I was just practicing.
Tony, you have a niche. I don't know anybody that's on social media that's a paramedic / beginner
Finance guy talking financing, and he ain't even got to preach. He could just say what he doing.
Yeah, listen, you know what? This is what today was so sad because of this situation happened, right? Well, today was so good because I saved somebody's life, and then I come home and I gotta hang up this uniform, and then I gotta put on this hat and figure out how I'm gonna get this next deal financed, right? So, you know, you're gonna actually help people who have 9-to-5 jobs, and a lot of these people have stressful jobs like you do, right? And how do you transition from that 9-to-5 job, come home, eat, spend some time with your kid, and then go back into your office and start working on your business, right? That's your niche,
right?
That's
what are you thinking, Tony?
Such a hard job and then be social. That's what drives. Think of that. Think how much harder it is to be a paramedic than to do social.
Oh shit, that ain't no comparison.
Social's easy. I was no way I'm gonna go be a paramedic, man.
Man, that's a hard job.
Yeah, social's easy.
Tony, what you thinking, brother?
You know, I like the idea. I mean, I like the idea. I'm warm to it. Like I said, I'm not against anything, and
nothing.
You know,
I can think of a couple things.
I'm really just trying to work it out in my mind how the hell I'm going to end up, you know, putting the piece together and making that shit happen. Because
Tony, do yourself a favor. This is really important, Tony.
Yeah.
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, man.
Brother.
Because you're a paramedic.
Okay.
Everything is science to you. Everything is
bringing
science.
that shit over to the
leave the science part. As soon as you leave your truck, you know, or your ambulance, leave it. Leave your science mentality there. Business mentality is a different mentality. Your science mentality is gonna slow you down in your business because you're gonna overanalyze.
That's true.
And don't care.
I tell you that's 100% right.
Yep.
That is true.
A lot of scientists. I find that with a lot of.
You know what Dan told me when we were in Vegas?
Bitcoin's about to hit 74,000.
Get the hell out of here, Tony. Dan said he had to let some people go. He said, "You know what, man? You too smart for this business. I can't work with you."
Oh, I did tell somebody that's right.
And Tony, I don't want that to be Tony. You know, you're here. I have a lot of love for you. I don't, you know, we don't know you, but if you're here, you're one of the roundup homies. Don't be too smart for this shit, dude. The people that try to get it all right up, they fail so hard because this is not in the employee box. You don't got to get it perfect or someone dies. This box here, you screw up, you start again the next day. But this is the most competitive sport in the world, so you got to show up, though. You got to show up.
Hey, what's the best way to learn?
Tony, I could tell you the reason I do so well in real estate is because I'm not a smart person.
No, I call it a dumb man's game, man. They were like, "Why didn't you write a real estate book, bro? It's a 3x5 card, man. I don't know if I can tell that to you." I mean, the way I do it now, the way these other guys do it, shit, I don't even know what Welby's doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow, baby, I don't even know.
Listen, don't overcomplicate this business, Tony. I actually had to let one of my smartest realtors go because he would overcomplicate it because he was so smart. he would keep using bigger words and confusing people. I'm like, bro, you intimidating people. You're overcomplicating and you're thinking too much. It's a very simple deal. They want to sell it, we want to buy it. This is what they want to sell it for. This is what we want to pay for it. If we come to an agreement, we buy it. I mean, it's not a difficult business. Right? So don't, please leave your science mental side at work. And then when you come home, you got to change your hat and put on your real estate investor hat, which is not complicated.
All right, Tony, take what we give you, man, and get out of here. Good to talk for you. Hey, if you need a consultation, we'll go right to all of our websites. You can get a consultation.
Tony, man, I can't thank you enough for coming on here because a lot of people have that same question. So
they do. They do.
Oh, fellas, I borrowed.
Okay, right on.
All right.
Thanks, Dan. Thanks, Chris. Appreciate it.
All right.
Take care,
later, Gerald.
Gerald, bring your screen up, dog. Let me see what you're doing. Show us. I'm in Bitcoin. Show me I'm making some money, man. Shit.
Man, you guys know I borrowed money to buy Bitcoin here in the last recently.
I remember last year this shit was like a 20-something.
I wish I'd have borrowed to buy then. You know what they ask me all the time? Is it too late to get into Bitcoin? Like I've been
They
hearing
said this.
They do it in real estate too. Is it too late? I don't even know what that means. He said the same thing about being an influencer. Is it too late?
Gerald, I think your voice makes it sound like it is too late, but you're really lovingly being sarcastic and saying that it's not too late, correct?
Right.
All right.
Or hey, just sit on the couch. Is there too late for that? Nobody ever says it's too late to. Well, I'm just not going to do it. But you know what? It's too late to do that. AI's coming. You need to do something. It's too late. It's too late for humans. You need to get moving. Look at the 74. I mean,
somebody said it's going to hit 75. Who said that? Somebody said. Who said that on here?
If we were day trading right now, every time it went over this green line, we'd be buying it.
Oh wow! I can't wait to see how you do that. I ain't doing that shit. I just don't have the guts for it. Call in with your questions. Politics, anything you want to talk about, Bitcoin. Gerald, you are the man. People love you. Gerald is a GOAT. Gerald is the greatest. I want to marry Gerald.
Them right there, millionaires.
Somebody said
you text them to make money, they start liking you.
That's true.
And me too. That's the kind of friends I like, man. My friends will call me with some of the dumbest. I'm like, bro, you got a stock pick for me? Because we've been talking for a minute,
Let me ask y'all. Calvin asked a question about all that stuff, but I forgot to tell him, and I want to ask y'all. I would not be able to do what I do on camera if my team wasn't so rock hard, rock solid at what they did on my real estate. I want to talk to you guys about having a solid team too, because that is an important piece.
You definitely need people helping you, right?
I mean, I want to know, would y'all be able to crank out the content when I'm having a good team?
Well, look, I wouldn't be able to crank out my content is all me, to be honest with you, but I wouldn't have the time to create the content if I didn't have a team doing everything else.
So, Calvin, I want you to know that too. My team, I don't think people understand. My team is like, oh my God, they made me look so good. I mean, every fixture is perfect. Every wall's been painted. All the flooring's been installed. I just can't even stress to y'all how important a good team is. Kiker says, this is not normal election. Immigrants. If Harris wins, keeps the borders open.
Good. Open it. I got shit to tell them. I really don't care, bro. A lot of those guys that say that, I'm like, man, I was in Iraq. Were you in Iraq?
This is not.
What does that mean, Gerald?
I mean, because they're my age, and I'm like, you're so damn patriot, bro. Were you over there? I mean, you've been fighting, you've been defending the country, or you're just sitting over here on the couch talking about it.
Oh shit.
I mean, if they're, so it's like, I'll tell you another one. This one got me. There's a lot of people, they have a weird, during the virus days, a lot of my conservatives that bitched about the government handing out money got in line.
Look at that.
When it affected them personally, they were in line for handout. Yeah, I wasn't. And I told them, I won't take a penny. I'll go bankrupt, baby. I came in here by myself. I'm leaving.
Holy cow. That's cool.
You know what?
It's going to happen to me. I know what I'm doing.
I have the same mentality. When all of my business friends were telling me go for that PPP money,
That's all right. I didn't build it with them.
I was like, number one, I says, I don't need the government giving me an anal cavity because with all the information they asked, no way. They got way too much information already.
And we got money. Like we saved money. Like we
I said,
prepared.
I says that money never comes free. Somehow or another, it comes with some type of attachment, whether it be now or later. And I didn't need it, and I felt I would be taking it away from somebody who probably did need it. You know.
Yeah. I was just shocked how many of my conservative friends, then they'll start trying to explain it to you. I go, I get it, man. You were in need. I get it. Right? If anybody in need, you should be cool with it.
Was to say, as a white male, it doesn't bother me at all if a woman is president, if that's the best candidate.
I'm glad they said that.
So am I. Me too. There was someone saying that I was wrong about policy. Can you bring that one up? Because I'd like you to elaborate on that. I'm not sure what they're referring to.
Trump is right and you're wrong, Dan. You know
that. This is not a policy election. Exclamation point. Dan is wrong. Exclamation point.
Well, Dan's been wrong about a lot of stuff, so that's really nothing new. Okay, Kamala's coming up, y'all. She got 109. Look like she just won Colorado, maybe.
Did she?
55 there. She got.
And there's too many women in charge of houses already. We already talked about that. They already got every house in America.
Yep. I know my wife's in charge of my house. I know Chris's wife is in charge of his house. Gerald, is your wife in charge of your house?
Yeah, of course. Every problem you got,
Yeah, there you go.
Damn women running things. Hey, Castillo, my perspective is USA deserves whatever it gets as a result of this election. I don't believe that the politics is even handed as far as the results being the same. I'll admit if I'm wrong.
Of course,
what are your thoughts on that?
Oh shit! Nobody knows anything, man.
Yeah, listen,
go ahead.
I hate to say it, I agree with him to an extent. I just wish people in general would realize that dividing power, which is what these two parties have done to us. They're conquering us.
Ben says Kamala just ain't it.
Someone said about their investment strategy. How will you?
Is that on IG or something? Where's that at?
I see it on YouTube, I think.
Okay, we'll get down to it.
Okay, I didn't know you could do it over there.
Yeah, you know what? Let's talk about that a little bit. So how have you guys prepared for this? I would love to ask you individually how you prepared for this election.
Let's do this. We'll take a call. Gerald, hold up. We'll take a call and then we'll go to the question. Caller, you are on the line with Gerald, Dan, and Chris. Please state your name and where you're calling from.
Hi, this is Jamal. I'm out here in Douglasville, Georgia, man.
Love it, Georgia in the house. How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. I'm enjoying y'all right now, man. I mean, it's refreshing, man, because I can listen to real estate and listen to y'all talk, man. Because some of these other channels, man, they're calling people the MF word, and I'm gonna kick the butt and see me outside, and we meet up. It's on site. You got people ready to go actual street fight and physical wars right now behind there on a few channels. I said, let me come over here and listen to my guys, man. I can talk real. I'm in my comfort zone, man.
I'm sad to hear that, man, because it's sad. Go ahead.
We got all the hot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sad too, but I'm not surprised. I mean, because it was just a time, man, for this thing came to a head, man. Because I got buddies who are on the left, and buddies who are on the right. They haven't talked to each other. And I'm just looking at them like, y'all do realize. I said, y'all do realize presidents don't run anything. I said, you do realize the Rothschilds are just selecting another meat suit to sit in the chair. I said, y'all gonna learn that life don't care about you. You better figure out how to get your money, take care of you and your family. Because Pennsylvania Lane, Pennsylvania Avenue ain't gonna protect you. They ain't gonna do nothing for you. You better figure it out. So.
That's right, bro.
Yeah, just from the real estate side. Yeah, from the real estate side, I do, like I said, I do a lot of micro mapping stuff. I send you some data before.
Oh yeah.
And just from there, and then from there, like I said, I do the owner finance side, like on more the higher end stuff. So I just want to know will that continue to play moving forward with loans, with interest rates being what they are, people not be able to get loans. Because I had a gentleman tell me at a networking event, they were turning down folks with scores over 700 just because they had student loans. But it wasn't the fact that they had student loans, it's the fact they make an attempt to pay the interest on the student loan. So in that lender's eyes, they felt like, well, if you can't make interest payments on your student loan, how in the hell can we trust you with our money? And they automatically was just shutting them down. So I see a lot of these loan officers having this God complex. They walk on the wrong side of the head. I'm gonna make somebody else's life miserable, even though they're not supposed to do it, but they're doing it anyway. You know, so I would love to hear y'all if y'all seen that in y'all neck of the woods.
So
because I had a few loan officers I heard talk about this. You know, so that's why I'm looking forward to the owner financing thing, especially those that have been turned down with conventional finance.
So you know what, man, you on the line with the right person, because Chris has actually turned my whole entire perspective around in reference to unconventional financing.
You know what's crazy? I talked to Storm, exact same conversation. Welby, exact. You know, it's not like they're gonna go out there and start doing it today, but they're like this, and it's not just a me thing. It's just a strategy that requires a different way of looking at things, brother. You know, exactly. That's all. But yeah, so for I don't really know too much about the conventional side of things, Jamon. You follow my channel, dog. You know, I'm a fellow bank hater. Like if I was,
do we get free?
Yeah, I mean, like I say, you know, we've talked before, and like I say, I've never been a fixer flipper. I tried to sling a hammer once. I was put my eye out. That was the universe telling me that wasn't fun. So I said, hey, I'm gonna deal with the prettier homes that are moving ready. I want to deal with the folks that are the six-figure earners, you know, that are self-employed, do owner finance transactions with them. And then when they get about 12 months of season, 24 months of seasoning, I want to be able to get them refinanced out and folks paid off. You know, I like it that way better, you know.
Is it because you're
man, that's
being lazy? You just don't want to work?
Yeah, I just wanted to call in and show my love, man. I really love you guys and appreciate y'all, man. I look forward to the day I can meet y'all in person one day and have a couple of drinks with you.
That'd be sweet. Thanks for calling in, Jamon.
Bro, you can't drink.
No problem. Have a good one, y'all.
What do
you know what Cardi B says? You don't want to smoke with me.
What do you think about Gerald? Dan said that. What do you think about interest rates and people not being able? I have heard, and I have a mortgage broker friend. He told me his applications are way down.
Good.
It's funny. I spoke to a mortgage broker yesterday, and he was telling me his applications are way up.
I think it's regional, right? Hey, I just sold 2 Bitcoin. Anybody watching?
We can't see it, Gerald. Damn.
What'd you sell them at?
I'm custodying my Bitcoin, but I sold 2 Bitcoins.
Did you sell the options or the Bitcoin?
No, futures. I'm doing this is futures market. In the futures market.
So Bitcoin just hit 74,000 people.
I cannot believe this.
That if I could add one thing that so people don't go, oh, I don't know how to do that, so I'm not going to do that. I don't know how to do anything, guys. Like you had to learn to read. So when you go, I don't know how to swing a hammer. There's a difference between you won't learn or you could do something different to make money. Now, if you can do something, you know what I mean? Like Welby doesn't swing a hammer, but he makes money, right? I just hate seeing the kid who goes, well, I'm not good at swinging the hammer. And he could have bought a deal, but he didn't because he didn't learn to swing a hammer. That's all I'm saying. Because it doesn't have to be good. I mean, my first rehabs were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
They rented, you know, but now I hire people. Yeah, I'm doing other things. I can make more money with Bitcoin than I can putting in flooring, right? But I couldn't say that when I was 32. So just, you got to balance that stuff. Don't admit, well, I don't know how to do it, so I'm not going to do it. Learn. I was just, when I'm just telling you this, once a month, I sit down and learn something I don't know how to do. You know, last week it was Twitter. Twitter's got a lot of weird things in it, man. I sat there for like 2.5 hours just trying to figure it all out, Googling it, looking on things, just learning.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you podcast. It takes about 2 hours, you know.
Great point.
Skill saw, get on Google. They show you how to run one, you know.
That's a great point.
What's that question? It says, can you guys, what is it saying?
A. Castillo wants us to talk about the time when we separated from fear of failure, success, making the wrong moves.
The
Is
fear.
it after certain years when you first jumped in, or is it honestly never?
I
That's
don't
a
know about
great
you
question.
guys, but I'm still fearful. Actually, I think one of the things that propels me to work so hard is because I fear failure.
Feel going back to being broken poor?
Still being broke. That's what I feel.
Me
Yeah.
too. Me
Yeah, I
too.
feel broke when I get up, man. I got so many people, so many things that you got to have your money on.
Yeah. Look, the way I minimize my fear when I'm doing a deal is I research the living hell out of it. Um, I don't have to research as much because of my experience, so I could see things clearer and faster than I used to. But I research the living hell out of it, and I make sure I educate myself. So, guys, I'm under attorney review now for a seven door storefront building. But it's all mom and pop, no anchor store, which is what I want, right? So, but I've researched the living hell out of this property in the area so much because I've never really bought something like that out of my area. But between my experience and the research I've done, it lessens.
Virginia's going blue, y'all. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. So, I would say to lessen your fear, you need to educate yourself. That means reading, going to, meetups, going to, watching
Environment.
Gerald's videos, my videos. I do a free mentorship class every single Wednesday night. Go to danielburrowjr.com. I mean, I don't know how much easier I could make it for you.
If you fear failing, the weird thing on this, sometimes I just kind of think through these things. That implies that you're already successful. Because if you fail, you're just where you are.
Mm.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're back where you were.
Yeah, a guy said to me, man, what if they don't pay rent? And they're all worried about it. I go, who's paying you rent now?
Wow.
No one. So you're right there, bro. You're just going to be back where you were.
Holy cow.
All this because I was
That's
a failure, man. I ain't nowhere. I'm just a dude working. What am I going to lose? I got to go back to work? What are you going to do? Take zero? Like, I'm
You know what? I kind of smacked us in the face when I said that, right? Well, what if they don't pay rent? Gerald said, well, who's paying you rent now?
I mean, you just start analyzing your thought process, and it's like, okay, yeah, that does feel kind of dumb, right? but that stops people. 3 enemies of mankind: fear, indecision, and doubt. Man, that's the 3 things. They're indecisive, they're fearful, and they doubt it.
Yo, this is
yeah. You gotta have irrational. Like I have irrational. For fear. Fear's real, right? We all have it. This is how we're walking outside and you're like, man, it's kind of shit. I hope they shoot at us. I'm not scared. You are. I mean, if you kind of carry yourself that way after a while, these
just start to happen.
A factor.
Okay, yeah, you buy a house and you get you don't make as much money. Who cares?
Yeah.
Nobody cares.
Caller, hold 1 second. 1 second, caller. What did you just say, Gerald?
I'm saying, okay, let's say you buy a house and the numbers weren't right and you're over, bro. Nobody cares. Your mama's not losing sleep. Nobody on earth's going to have a party for this grand fear thought. Is just you. Like, what, man? You're already letting yourself down by not doing it. I'd rather lose than not do it, man, personally. I told you that. I'd rather go bankrupt and take their money. Remember I said that? Bro, I'd rather lose on my own than not do it, man. For real.
Caller, state your name and please, you're on the line with Dan, Gerald, and Chris. State your name and where you're calling from, please. Did I lose him? I'm sorry, caller. I just lost you. One more time. State your name and where you're calling from.
Just whoever.
So my name is Raisa, calling from New Jersey.
Raisa, spell it for me.
New Jersey, hard, man. I can already tell.
How you spell that?
All right, guys. It's kind of it's a little muffled.
You have us on the background. Just lower the volume on whatever you have us on the background, so it's not echoing.
Yeah, you got to cut the show down.
I got off, so it should be okay now. I didn't hear that the background noise anymore.
Much better.
I do have a question. This past year, when I went to go purchase some properties, found that some lenders were way more conservative than others. I mean, I would go in, give them all my information, everything. Some lenders would be very iffy because I'm a single income and all that good stuff. And then literally give me a really hard time, and I would go and talk to another lender and get approved immediately within like 15 days, 30-day closings. And I wanted to know what you think is going to win, or if this election, depending on who wins, if that's going to make lenders more conservative, less conservative. Will it affect any of that? Obviously looking at DSCR loans. I'm looking at non-conventional kind of loans. And I wanted to know if you guys have any wind of any policies, changing that type of fundings or any of that.
What's your credit score?
I'm so sorry, guys. I'm having a hard time hearing.
What's your credit score?
So right now, mine was like 803. I can check it right now. 803 or something. It's really high. Most of.
You said most of what?
I just making
No,
sure.
can you guys hear me?
Yeah,
no, it's really high. What? You have the floor, Racer.
I'm so sorry, guys. It's really muffled. I'm having a hard time.
We're listening to you.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, perfect. Now I can hear you guys. No, so I was saying I don't know if you guys heard my credit score. So it's about 803. Hold on real quick. Let me just look it up right now. I'll tell you exactly.
That's fine. I'm just making sure it wasn't like 500 or something.
Believe me, if it's clearly close to 800, you're good.
So my issue is, and I'm a really high salary earner, so I have my corporate job. I have 3 other businesses, which is why, any debt that I have, to be quite frank, is my business. So that wouldn't even come up, which is what was really frustrating me. Now, the one thing I do have is HELOCs on some of these properties, and those are they're not under LLC right now. It's just the way that I'm doing the business until I get properties. Then obviously I'm going to put them into LLC. So it's just my strategy. I know, don't judge me. I know I should probably put them into LLC right now, but it's just a strategy.
Risa,
when I deal with something,
let me just stop you for a second. One of your problems, I suspect, is that you have those home equity lines under your personal name. So that's reduced.
There you go, bingo.
That's going to reduce your debt to ratio, because they're going to look at it as if
the
you
whole
have
thing
all under your name, even though that you have the income coming in from the properties.
They're looking at the whole line right there. They're going to look at the entire. If it's how much are they? Like 100, 300?
Yeah. So what I would suggest is, and not suggest, it's what I had to do when I was in that same situation was, back then they used to be called no income check verification loans. Now they call them DSCR loans, where they just go strict based on your credit score, you know, that you show a history of paying your bills, and then they go strictly based on whether the property could sustain that mortgage and still create cash flow. Now, the problem with that is that your closing costs are always going to be slightly higher, not slightly
higher.
Yes, your closing costs are going to be about 10 to 15% higher. And your mortgage is going to be anywhere between 0.25% to 0.6% higher.
Yeah.
Right. But,
that's what I'm running into now.
I went through that. And back then I was paying 17.9% interest. Greenpoint Savings Bank. So if the property still makes sense and that's the only way you could get it, then you still do it. But the numbers have got to make sense every single time.
So that's what I'm dealing with right now, and that's really the strategy that I'm having to go towards now for my future properties, or the DSCR loans or the no doc loans. But let me ask you: do you think with the new candidate, whether it's Trump or Kamala, do you guys think any of those policies or any of these type of loan options will change?
I personally think if Trump comes in, he's going to deregulate a lot of the bank stuff that Obama put in and Biden put in.
All you gotta do is go back to 2004.
Okay.
How old are you, Racer?
So I'm actually 34 right now.
So you're young. You don't even know what 2004 was. George Bush.
I did buy my first property in 2009 when I was 21. So I started. I started quickly. So I do have. I also work a corporate job. I'm an engineer, so I do have my things kind of set in stone. But I'm more about now is when I'm trying to really get into like developing, learning, syndications, learning the steps. But I am a little bit concerned about, okay, maybe I should have purchased a little bit more this past year based on who's going to go in. So I wanted to hear what you guys thought about.
You should have bought Bitcoin.
The following.
You should have bought
Bitcoin.
Bitcoin.
I actually bought and then I sold. I bought and I sold because it was out of my I'm like Dan. If I don't know something, I'm a little bit I didn't learn enough about it.
You don't know how to read or watch videos.
Yeah, me. I just
I don't think my audience is not used to Gerald's.
They don't know how to read.
Wrote sarcasm.
He's good. He's good. I'm an engineer, so I could take it as it is. Don't worry, I got it.
That's why I said that, because you're an engineer and you're acting like I don't know what Bitcoin is. It's one of the greatest engineering things ever.
I know. Listen, I tried to say what.
If she would have said she
I
was an
did.
engineer,
I played around with it and then I sold it. I know. I sold it. It was a dumb move.
Nah, listen, did you make a profit?
I need some water.
And what, in Bitcoin?
Yes.
To be honest with you, it was very small. I sold it pretty early on. So I have my Roth, I have, my stocks, I have.
Listen, you're 34. You were 34? You said you were 34?
Yeah.
You're doing great.
Yeah.
You're doing great. You're doing better. You're doing better than 90% of the 34-year-olds in this country.
Oh shit, more than that. 90% of the 50-year-olds. Eraser, can I say one thing?
All the girls in the MFG are smoking Bitcoin right now. So, and real estate, by the way.
Can I have a question. I feel like I'm the only person on planet Earth that asks people to loan me money to buy real estate. Why?
I do. I ask people,
I know.
So why? I'm sorry.
Raisa, why is it that you only are going traditional money?
So friends are broke. Things I would lose there.
So actually, no. I have dealt with hard money lender, but and again, it's from somebody that. But the thing is, for me, which is why I did the HELOC and all that good stuff. I am also I don't like. I know you guys are gonna tell me about this because I know good debt. Everybody talks about good debt. I am very conservative, so it's just me and my daughter, right? So it's just myself. I'm very
conservative. You're scared, not conservative. Yeah, say it right. Say it right. Say the correct word.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's okay. I could be scared because I look at the numbers.
I have a challenge.
Let her finish, y'all. Let her finish.
I just have one challenge for you. Try to take, which is what I had with the paramedic before. Engineers and people in the sciences always overanalyze. Do you find yourself overanalyzing?
Yes, it's true.
Yeah. We are like the dumbest guys. Well, I don't want to speak for those two. I'm like the worst.
No, it's actually good. But you know what it is? So I have been actually trying to educate myself on how to attract or how to get
private
how to get
money.
the right connections. There you go. How to make the right because I'll be honest, well, private money is more expensive, right? So depending on the market, remember guys, it's it's more money, right? Like the interest rates and also the time to pay back that hard money. So I do like, it's not that I'm not willing to do it. Again, I've done it before. It's just that, I'm very conservative. Remember the markets that I can go into.
Look at Gerald.
Like if I went to my Jersey City property, great. But if it's in my Pennsylvania, I'm a little bit worried, right? I can't refinance that. I can't get a refinance right away to pay that hard money lender right away because this is where I'm running into these issues about, having those properties under my name. So it's not like I'm not willing to do it. It's just that I've kind of hit some hiccups, learned from them, and I am a little more conservative.
I'm going to tell you something that most people
don't talk about apples and oranges, but go ahead, Dan.
Lisa, the first 10 properties I bought in Brooklyn, New York were all under my personal name.
Okay.
Every single one of them. And every single one of them I had to personally guarantee. But because of that, actually, at one point, my credit score fell below like 640, not because I had any late payments, but because I had so much debt
Yeah.
under my personal name. But
Your
hence,
DTI.
hence the
Gotcha.
reason why I had to go with no income verification loans, which today were called DSCR loans. And I had to pay more money in interest for it. But it didn't matter because, by the way, I
Yeah.
still own those buildings, right? They're worth millions of dollars today because I stayed the course and because I
Yeah.
made sure that the numbers made sense. Even though the interest rate was higher, I was still able to pay those loans. Now, eventually, I was able to refinance them and take out my original investment, but I didn't over leverage either. But the point is, you're in a situation where you need to first just make sure the numbers make sense. If the numbers make sense, you're getting an 8% cap rate, 8 to 9% cap rate, and after your renovation costs, after your acquisition costs, after your holding costs, you're good. You're
All right.
good.
Conservative.
That's the problem, Dan. That's where I'm running into. That cap rate is not where, like a few years back, I was easily
Okay.
finding that.
Well,
Right
then-
now,
well,
I'm not
then-
finding
well,
that
then
high
it's
cap
like-
rate.
so
That's
it's
where I'm
like
getting
this.
stuck on.
It's like this, if there's, if there's 1 in 100 out there where the cap rate's going to make sense, and you keep making, and you make 100,
Yeah.
make 100 offers, you're going to get that one.
Yeah, it's just
But you got to make 100
So
offers.
keep at it. Gotcha.
Right?
Gerald, what are you
Understood.
saying, man?
Okay.
Let I got to let Gerald let him speak.
Just so many words she said. I hate the conservative thing. That is a lie.
Oh,
She's lying. She lied to herself. I think in the beginning you said, what'd you say at the very entrance? Single mom, they don't like to lend or something. You said something.
what was it? I'm sorry.
In the beginning, you said something about single mom and lending or something. I thought you said that.
No, I'm saying, well, because I'm a single mom, so I definitely know.
Wait,
Obviously,
why
whatever.
did you say that?
Taking
That's
a
the
risk, I
lending part.
have to be more careful.
No, you
No,
don't.
because I'm
You
the
need
head
to
of
make more
household,
money
right? So
because
if
you
I
have.
fail,
Okay, listen. You need to make more because you have responsibilities, not make less.
of course.
Wow.
Okay,
No,
but
and
not
that's where
not
I'm, and that's
conservative.
where I'm doing, right?
You know how many single billionaire parents there are? You don't
And
take
that's
away
the
because you have
idea.
children.
But I do
Okay.
have to.
All right. Well, tell your daughter that. Hey, make sure you take a layup in life.
Listen,
No, she's good. She's getting her own property at 17 next year, so she's good.
I love
We're
it.
good.
I
But
love
it's just a
Yeah,
matter of
if you're poor,
strategizing and
If
you know.
you, okay, you ain't listening to nothing I'm saying. You got it figured out. I'll holler at you.
No. I listen. I understand.
No, you're
I
not.
get you.
You're not
I
listening.
understand what you're saying. You're saying,
No, you don't. You're not
grab
taking.
it by the balls and get it done.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're scared and you won't say it. You actually don't know and you won't say it.
No, yeah. No, I own it. I definitely, it's not that I own that the fact that I'm hesitant sometimes, but again, this is why I wanted to call you guys to say, okay, well,
don't
this
blame
is
it on
the
your
situation
kid.
that I'm in. And then, what was it?
Don't blame it on your child.
If you guys don't mind, I want to just point something out, Teresa. Every single one of us on the screen, the three of us, every time we do a deal, we're scared.
I got Bitcoin right now.
Yeah.
She sold hers. I
Right.
got Southern futures
We're scared.
contract.
We're scared. But the difference with our fear is that we
Get off the
put
couch.
our fear based on the time we take out to educate ourselves in. But it sounds like you've done that already.
Yeah, I am. It's just, yeah.
What part of Jersey are you in?
So right now, I moved actually from Essex to Sussex to save on some of the taxes initially, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Send me,
I'm in
tomorrow
Sussex right
morning, send me a DM and I'm going to refer a realtor to you that works with real estate investors.
I appreciate you, Dan. I definitely will then.
Can I leave?
Hey,
Listen, we gotta
before
get-
you go, you
Go,
understand.
Joe. Go ahead,
tax
Joe.
code. Hey, before you go, you understand the tax code. You'll move for that, but you don't understand Bitcoin.
Oh,
Hey, now, listen, don't knock me, okay? I'll get
No,
into
we're not
Bitcoin.
knocking
Thank
you.
you,
He's
Gerald.
not
You're going to
knocking
be
you.
my push.
Well, tell me what I'm doing wrong.
No. You're going to be my push.
You couldn't be in my group, man.
Now, just to prove a point, I'm going to get into it again. Just to prove a point. I
Yeah, well,
appreciate
don't
it.
get
Thank
in
you
tonight,
so
though,
much.
whatever you do. Let it drop some. It's like,
yeah. No way. Please don't.
holy moly.
Gerald,
Gerald, what
you
is
were
it up to now?
You see why
Listen.
my traders are good?
What is
I don't
Bitcoin
feel
up to now? Let me
good.
take a look. It's Bitcoin's at
Racer, can I say? Listen, we gotta get Racer.
34,237.
I got one thing, and then you gotta get up. We have 20 minutes. Racer,
Mm.
Yes.
I think there is a flaw in the strategy that you're doing, and I just want to make sure that I get this clear.
Yes.
There's a huge flaw when I say, "Why are you only using?" Like I'm listening to your voice. You sound like you speak, and you have a impeccable command of the English language, which I love. I'm like a fan of people that pronounce. I'm like just a fan of English, right? I'm listening to you talk. Why are you only going
Yeah.
traditional route? And now when I say traditional, I'm not talking about hard money. It's still traditional. DCSR, well, all that shit. I'm talking about where you ask ma and pa to finance your real estate deals. That's why I want to know, why aren't you? You hear what Gerald said? He does it all the time.
Yep.
So why
Bitcoin
are
on a
we?
credit card.
See, I look into those. I have looked into those. Frank, I'm probably one of the most high earners in my circle, right? So
Okay,
you have
hold
someone
on,
again
hold
that I
on.
have done that
What
strategy with.
What
Hold
is you
on,
being
what
a
does
high
that
earner?
tell you?
That means you attract other freaking high earners. What are you talking about?
That's exactly what I was saying. Right? You need to get out of your circle.
That's true. That is true. Actually, that is true. No, I do know. Like I work with a lot of people that make a lot of. It's just I guess the
Yes.
comfort of being able to ask for that. So no, you're right. You guys are right. I have to get myself into the idea of.
Non-traditional financing.
You're absolutely right.
Non-traditional. What I'm saying is, we built our real estate empire, private money, creative real estate. When I hear people say my credit score this, and I'm not saying don't do that, but you already got HELOC, so you've already accessed that part of it. So it might be a good time for you to say,
Exactly.
look, I got the traditional. Let me go raise. Unfortunately, man, raise money from the private sector. Maybe. I mean, it might be a good look for you. I see Gerald bouncing up and down.
Yeah, let me say two things. One, I would never put my house up as collateral. And I'm not conservative. That's crazy to me. I like my house. My children are there. That's a personal belief. To me, that's being a little conservative in my world. And it surprises me she did that.
Okay.
I mean, that surprised me that you're willing to lean on your house, but not ask people for money. I mean, that's at your home. But I just wanted to make this one option.
No, not my personal home. Not my personal home.
Okay, I misunderstood that. But what you're really saying, I tell people this all the time. All money comes from people. All of the money you want is in the pockets, purses, wallets, checkbooks, credit cards, and crypto accounts, and maybe of other people. You got to ask them, man.
Yep.
That's right out of the Bible. Jesus said, "Ask." Like you got to ask. You might have friends sitting there going, "Man, I don't want to do real estate. I wish I knew someone that did."
I want to just say one thing, Teresa, before you go, guys.
You're right.
Listen, Teresa, you need to put yourself when you said earlier that you are the highest.
We need the women,
right? That's scary, right? You're not going to grow there. Now, I'm going to tell you, I met Chris because
Trump's at 210, by the way, y'all.
I spent an ungodly amount of money going to a conference in Dallas, Texas in 2019. Spent about $20,000, $25,000 to be in that room. And Chris and I met there.
Okay.
And Chris said to me, a year or two later, after we became really good friends, he says, I bought your friendship. And I was like, yeah, explain that to me. He says,
all my friends have to do that. Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So he paid I paid $20,000 and he paid $20,000 to be in that room where we met. So we bought each other's friendship, but we made a lot of money together as a reason. We made so much more than the $20,000 that we paid to be in that room. Now, I'm not telling you got to go and spend $20,000 to be in the room. What I'm telling you is you need to start finding other rooms to be in.
Understand what you guys are saying.
Right. And then you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised that when these other investors and these other people see how well you're doing and how good you got your things together and how you analyze deals and how careful you are, they're going to feel comfortable in lending you money, but it's secured against property. So they're not doing you a favor. They're doing themselves a favor because they're actually going to be making money on interest on money that they're lending against that property. Yeah. Now, I didn't understand that. It was Chris that told me that. And, it was like, I said, Chris, I got a hard time going to people hat in hand. He says, you're doing them a favor. They're never going to get that interest that you're willing to pay them in the bank. And it's secured against the property. The property's not going anywhere. Do you see the difference?
Yep.
100% see it. And I appreciate that because, yes.
All right. Raisa, good talking to you.
Influencer thing, man. If you got something to say.
You guys appreciate this.
All right.
Why would you not say it? Because nobody listens or you might fail, bro. If you got something to say it. Like, You know, like, yeah.
Go ahead, Gerald. What are you saying?
No, I'm just saying it's all this is free. And if you have something in you, it's free to make an offer. It's free to knock on the door. And I believe this with all my heart. And I think you need to. I believe what I sell, if you were to buy anything else about stocks, I think you will do worse. I believe that. Like, I use it. So when I go to sell it or talk to you about it, I'm just shocked. Like, I'm just banging on the door. I'm putting out videos. Shocks me that everyone doesn't buy it. You know? I mean, I ask Dan, if you're my friend, I start beating on him. Hey, man, you got to get on this. You know, like, because I feel like if they don't, they're going to get hurt.
Listen,
You know?
when Gerald calls me something like that, I just buy it. I don't even ask him. I say, okay, no problem.
But you know how many friends I have that have watched me become wealthy who don't do what Dan does? Hey, there may be a correlation to why Dan's wealthy. Like, he meets somebody, he met you, right? He met you, and you should know about that. I feel kind of, I don't know. He just said, chill, let me try that, you know?
He damn sure enough did.
Mm-hmm. Dude, how many of us have you guys all had that encounter? You meet one person and it was a conversation, it changes your life, you know?
Hey, listen, Chris walked in, we were in this room, everybody's in business attire with, you know, sports jackets, you know, business attire. My man Chris walks in videotaping himself because he's going to use this for content. And he's got this black jacket on with these big gold letters in his back. I buy houses. My brother says to me, man, this guy, he's into himself. This is exactly what my brother says to me. I says,
oh, yeah. Who else would he be into?
You know, I said to myself, we need to meet this guy. And I walked up to Chris and I said, Chris, I didn't say Chris. I said, hi, I'm Dan Barrero, and I love your jacket, brother. What's your name?
Yeah.
And said we become friends. Right, Chris?
Yep, overnight.
Yeah, man. I call that the alpha code. You may not know that. It's a concept I teach. And you take, you know, like you see, like Donald Trump knows about his hair. He knows that. He knows that, but everyone talks about it. So you're talking about him. It's free advertising, man. You know,
Gerald,
like people say Grant Cardone will say crazy stuff because he knows they'll share it. It's all on purpose, man. I used to go on there and make fun of Tesla because everyone owned Tesla. And I just bash it. And people would follow me because they thought, you know what I'm saying? But to do that, you got to get in front of an audience and kind of talk louder or push your way in, you know. I go anywhere. Pick someone out. I go talk to them. They'll
What's
follow
the number
me.
set now, Chris, if you don't mind me asking?
Oh, yeah, it's same thing. It's jumps at 200. But I wanted to ask, oh, shit. Oh, there it is, 200 there. Oh, I'm sorry. Y'all can't see it. We're at 200 at 210 to 113. It's getting closer, y'all. We're almost out of this thing. So when you said who else would I be into, Gerald, I got some answers. I'd be into Jay-Z.
Yeah.
I'd be into LeBron James. I know a lot of people that do that.
But those two have something in common, right? I mean, you're also probably into how they do what they do.
No,
right?
I'm talking about no. My question is, when you ask me who else would I be into, for me,
I got you. Yeah.
But the majority of people that I have encountered in my life, they know more about the basketball stats more than they know about their stats, and it drives me up the wall.
I'm looking at shoe stats. You know what I'm saying? If I'm watching that guy, I go, how much do you think they pay this dude? And then I'm looking, and you think he's got his own clothes? I got my own clothesline. Most men don't. They own companies. They don't even have a clothing line. You know what I mean? Like I wear my hats, not Nike hats. You know. Now I promote Bitcoin because it made me a lot of money. Now if you pay me to wear a hat, I'll wear your hat.
There you go.
That's what I say.
You mean you don't know what the first round draft pick is? You don't know what these guys' numbers are and their stats and stuff?
And, you know, and I'll do silly stuff. Like this is like, where's my thing? That's pretty blingy. Right? That's obnoxious. People notice that. They don't notice the dude that just walked in a hat who sits down. You know what I mean?
They don't.
Now, if I can talk to him, I can probably make the guy like me. And I'll read the room. I'm not going to be obnoxious. Like I told you earlier, he looks like a guy that might knock someone out. I'm going to talk to him different. You know, I'm going to be like, what's up? You know what I mean? And you read the room on how you can communicate.
That's true.
But most people go into a room. They're not trying to meet anybody or talk to anybody they don't know. I'm trying to talk to people I don't know. I know what the people I know got. So if you only talk to your friends, I don't know how you're going to get anywhere.
We got an Instagram question.
Just because it's getting late, man. Let's go back to the screen. If you don't mind.
I got a question. Hold on, man.
tomorrow, man. I'm fired up now.
We got an Instagram question, Dan.
Good.
Dan Green Gift says, would you hold a property until the spring if the holding costs are low instead of selling in the winter?
Yeah, property's always you get a bigger bang on your buck in the spring and the summer, right? Right before the kids get out of school.
Yeah, but you can't change the appraisal number. Shit, it's gonna be what it's gonna be.
That's what I was thinking, but I don't know that.
You're gonna get a lot more activity.
Yeah, but you can't change. You ain't talking
You
about.
may not be able to change the appraisal number, but you're gonna get the higher of the number. So from appraisal, okay.
Is that true for each house? Summer?
Yeah, whether no matter what house it is, appraisers come in, they have a 10% leeway, right? So if the house, if your neighbor's house sold for $1 million, your appraiser could come up to 1.1 million and still be within that 10%, right? So your appraiser is also going to determine based on what's on the market and how long what's been on the market's been on the market before it went under contract. These are all the things that come into play. So if you want to be at the higher part of that 10% margin, I would wait until the spring or summer. When the trees are blossoming, that's the best time because you get a lot more curb appeal, and then people could actually visualize themselves sitting in that backyard or walking into that nice grass.
Yeah, but if I sell the house now, I can buy a whole other house and sell a whole other damn house by the time the springtime comes.
He asked what was in his situation, not our situation.
Oh yeah,
right. Because we're turning money over. That's what we do. We turn money.
Yeah, he's a player, man. Like he's already flipping into something else. He's like,
exactly.
We're gonna get this. I'm not waiting.
When we sell a property, we already know where that money's going.
Yeah,
I don't even remember the address.
Yeah, I'm done with you. I gotta go. Give me my money. Probably already got deals in the pipeline.
But that's just a different state of mind.
Yeah, but he's not asking that question.
Right.
True.
This is the hard part. That's the hard part with stocks and stuff. They'd be like, what do I do with 10? I'm like, bro, man, I don't even know what we're doing here. Put that in Bitcoin. I mean, we trying to make it today, or what's going on? Is it grandma's money? Or there's so many things, right? I mean,
Gerald keeping me awake.
Dude, Chris, I tell you, Gerald's full of fire, man.
Yeah. Anybody ever meets me and gets it, believe me, that was not my intent. I'm trying to just. Sometimes if you say something like that, they remember it. They walk away, and then I get letters all the time, text, DMs. They were about to do something stupid, and they literally heard me in my head going, "Are you getting on it from a video?" And I started to kind of stop doing that because my wife be like, "Man, what'd you say to that guy?" Like, wow. Now in person, this is internet, right? And but dude, every meetup when I went to meet Dan, I'd have guy after guy after guy. Man, I'm sure, man, I needed that, bro. You were talking, you know what I mean? Some people need to get pushed.
Yeah,
they
true.
put walls up. Our girl, they keep putting a wall. Man, let me hear it because I listened to Dan. I disagreed at first, and I listened to him, and I go, okay, yeah, that's right. Boom, mind change. Let's go. I don't need to. He knows way more than I do about that, right?
And I wouldn't even say not because I'm smarter, but because I happen to be more experienced in that subject.
More experience. Yeah.
And then it's like, that's why when Gerald tells me buy this stock, I'm not questioning him.
Yeah, he's one of the few people go, well, what? I mean, they start, and I'm like, bro, you don't even trade stocks. Am I going to have a 30-minute conversation?
No.
You told me to call you. I'm calling you. Bye. It's like.
Right. It's like, I'm not going to question him because that's what he does, right? So. But we know each other because we put ourselves in the room to know each other. Put yourself in the room.
We got a YouTube question here. A Castillo, why is making content more important than making deals when it comes to real estate, gentlemen?
Oh,
that's not true. I mean, you can make all the content in the world. If you're not making deals, you ain't making money. So who gives a shit?
Well, let's stay on that, Dan.
They go together.
They go together. However, if I have to choose, I would rather make content before real estate deals because making content brings deals and money.
It does, but it's not my all then. And look, I would say maybe 15% of my annual deals come from my content.
Yeah, but how much money have I raised? You know how much money I've raised from being on the screen?
To be fair, Dan, how long have you been doing real estate before you got on Instagram?
Oh, 30 years. Okay.
So that's different, kind of like we were talking about later, than a kid right now who, you know what I'm saying? He's got like 5 that's a game changer for him. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I've had $400,000 years online. That buys some property. To that guy, he probably changed his life.
Listen,
Right.
look, this when it comes to content,
Shit, $40,000 to change his life, Gerald.
let me take a
I
step.
made that
Let me take a step
doing
back.
content. Yeah.
I truly believe that if you have whatever your business is, I don't care what that business is, if you're not developing content and using social media to promote that business,
Crazy.
your competition is going to crush you.
You're crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're the guy selling hot dogs. If I had a hot dog stand in the city of New York,
I do content.
They have content every day.
Man, every day I'd be dressing up those hot dogs that be looking so sweet and juicy. They're gonna, and I'd be saying, "This is where I'm at." They're gonna come and buy my hot dog and pay me $1, $2 more than the guy across the street, just because
you're online.
And most of my videos, dude, I don't even see it as creating content. It's just documenting what I'm doing.
It is content though.
Sometimes we are actually creating, we're like creating things. Like we're 10 points to this and we're creating it. But a lot of times it's just, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. Yeah.
Document, don't create. Document.
But if you're not doing nothing because you sit on the couch all day and off on the weekends, you might not have nothing to film. Just saying.
I can't.
Hold up. I can't film myself watching LeBron play and
I mean, some people have pulled that off. I've seen it. There's a guy who has 550,000 followers on YouTube. Every video, kid you not, I'll send you the link. Every video is him smoking and day drinking in the park. I'm like, and each time it's a different liquor and a different cigarette. And he talks about, man, this one, the flavor, that is it. And he has the videos have it. And I'm like, I gave a blueprint on how to get rich, and 1,800 people watched it.
No one cares.
Watching videos. And I've watched all these videos. I'm trying to figure out why. Like, I'm watching the guy, and it kind of lured me in for a second. Like, he's just, what it was? He tells stories while he's doing it. Even though they're dumb, if you talk with, like you believe it, that ambulance guy, come on, man.
That dude was living.
I might say I was one and just do it. And that's the other thing too, not telling people to lie, but I will believe what you tell me until proven otherwise, right?
Listen, guys.
So if you say
Gerald Peters comes on, he's bringing the heat.
Go ahead.
They give all these excuses. I'm like, bro, I didn't even know that till you told me. Why are you leading with that?
The one Gerald said tonight was the best. Was like, people tell him, well, what if the tenant doesn't pay me? And Gerald's like, well, how many tenants are paying you now? You
worried about what's happening right now? So crazy.
What is it?
All right, guys, we've been on 2 hours and 15 minutes.
I'm not gonna go 2 minutes.
Let's round up. Bring up the sheet. Bring up the page. Let's see where Trump and Harris is at.
We might have to do this once a month or something. I enjoyed it. I'll go easier on your people. Dude, I was doing this with one of the stock guys. I'm pretty sure he fired me because every student that came on, I'm like, what? Because 6 months, I didn't know the most basic things.
All right, guys. So it's up at 210. Harris is at 113. I guess we're gonna wake up tomorrow morning and figure out who won.
Yeah, I'm going to bed, man. Yeah. Hey, it's been an honor with y'all. We got a million questions down here, dude. I can't even get to them all.
As I want to thank everyone for coming on and sharing tonight with us and your thoughts, and for every one of those of you that came on and dialed in, thank you. The reality is that it takes a lot of courage to call in,
especially with Gerald Peters.
Especially with Gerald Peters.
That was one of the problems. The other one, people just stopped. And I'm like, bro, come on, get up to the mic. Get up to the mic.
So I want to thank you for having the courage to call in, because the reality is that your questions that you ask when you call in, dozens of other people with the same
shit.
You're helping a lot of people.
Yeah, to get their content too.
You know what, Dan? You're so right. They got the same questions, dude. I found that if you ask a question, just ask the question, dude. We're gonna have fun with you and have a good time. But yeah, you're helping people because Dan and I love when Dan says, "You're just too smart. This business ain't for you."
You're overcomplicating. This business is the easy. Real estate is the easiest business for anybody to make money with.
Yeah, that's the only way I'm able to do it, man. Like, I mean, right? Nothing's that complicated.
Nothing. All right, guys. I want to.
Yeah.
Good
Talk
night.
to you soon. Peace.
Yeah.
Gerald, man.